Hello everyone, welcome to today's presentation. I'm excited to introduce our topic, Congruence of Triangles. Today, we'll explore what it means for triangles to be congruent, the criteria used to prove it, and some real-world applications. Let's get started and discover the fascinating world of triangle congruence together. Let's take a closer look at understanding triangle congruence criteria. This slide is all about the key points that help us determine when two triangles are congruent. Now, congruence means that the triangles are exactly the same in shape and size, which is fundamental in geometry. To figure out if two triangles are congruent, we use certain criteria or rules. These criteria are important because they simplify the process and help us avoid unnecessary measurements. The main criteria include side-side-side, or SSS, where all three sides are equal, side-angle side, or SAS, which requires two sides and the included angle to match, and angle-side-angle, or ASA, where two angles and the included side are equal. There's also the angle-angle side, or AAS, which involves two angles and a non-included side. Understanding these criteria is crucial because they connect to the overall theme of geometry, solving problems efficiently and accurately. When we know these rules, we can confidently identify congruent triangles, which often leads to proving other geometric properties. So, grasping these points helps us build a solid foundation for more complex concepts ahead. Let's take a closer look at understanding triangle congruence criteria. This is a fundamental concept in geometry because it helps us determine when two triangles are exactly the same in shape and size. The key idea here is that if certain parts of two triangles are equal, then the triangles are congruent. There are specific criteria we use to establish this congruence, such as side-angle side, side-side-side, and angle-side-angle. Each of these criteria provides a reliable way to compare triangles based on a combination of sides and angles. It's important to highlight that these criteria are not just arbitrary. They are proven rules that allow us to solve many geometric problems efficiently. By understanding these, we can confidently analyze complex figures and prove relationships between different shapes. Overall, mastering these criteria is essential because they form the backbone of many geometric proofs and problem-solving strategies, tying directly into the broader theme of understanding the properties and relationships within geometric figures. Today, we're diving into the concept of congruence of triangles. So, what's the same about these triangles? Well, when we say triangles are congruent, it means they have exactly the same shape and size. They match perfectly when overlaid. Now, how is this different from other triangles? The key difference is that congruent triangles are identical copies of each other. Every side and angle is exactly the same. Think of it like having two identical puzzle pieces. They fit perfectly over each other. This idea is central to understanding geometric proofs and problem solving. When two triangles are congruent, we can transfer properties from one to the other confidently. Throughout our exploration of shapes, recognizing congruence helps us identify when figures are essentially the same, just in different positions or orientations. So remember, congruent objects are not just similar, they are exact copies of one another. Let's now talk about the congruence of plane figures. This concept is fundamental in geometry because it helps us understand when two figures are essentially the same shape and size. When we say two figures are congruent, it means they can be superimposed on each other exactly, after some combination of rotations, reflections, or translations. This is important because it allows us to compare different figures without worrying about their position or orientation. In our overall discussion, congruence helps us establish relationships between shapes and proves geometric properties more efficiently. So, recognizing congruence is a key skill in solving many geometric problems. It confirms that two figures are identical in form, which simplifies analysis and proofs. Understanding these ideas will be crucial as we explore more complex geometric concepts later on. Now, let's take a closer look at congruence among line segments. So, what does that really mean? Well, it's about understanding what's the same and what's different when we compare these segments. When we say two segments are congruent, we mean they are exactly the same in length. They're perfect copies of each other in size and shape. This is a key concept because it helps us identify when two objects or parts of objects are identical, even if they're in different positions or orientations. Recognizing congruent segments is fundamental in geometry because it allows us to make accurate comparisons and build proofs. Remember, congruence isn't just about looks, it's about exact measurements. So, when we see congruent objects, we're looking at exact copies, no differences in size or shape. This idea ties into the broader theme of understanding the relationships between shapes and their properties, which is essential for solving many geometric problems. All right, let's explore the concept of congruence of angles. So, what's the same when we talk about angles? Well, congruent angles have the same measure. That means if two angles are congruent, they are equal in size. Now, how is this different from other angles? It's not just about looking similar or being close in size. It's about their measurements being exactly the same, regardless of their shape or position. Moving on to congruent objects, these are essentially exact copies of one another. When objects are congruent, they have the same size and shape, no matter how you move or rotate them. This is a fundamental idea because it helps us understand how shapes and figures relate to each other in geometry. Connecting this to the overall theme, recognizing congruence helps us compare and analyze shapes accurately. Whether we're looking at angles or objects, understanding what makes them congruent allows us to solve problems more effectively and see the relationships between different geometric figures. Now, let's talk about the concept of congruence in triangles. Two triangles are considered congruent if they are exactly the same shape and size. This means that all three sides of one triangle are equal in length to the corresponding three sides of the other triangle. It's also important to remember that congruent triangles can be rotated, flipped, slid, or turned in any way, and they will still look identical. This flexibility shows that congruence is about the actual measurements, not the position or orientation. Additionally, for two triangles to be congruent, all three angles must also be equal in measure. When both the sides and angles match perfectly, the triangles are truly congruent. Understanding these key points helps us see how triangles can be compared and classified, which is fundamental in many geometric proofs and real-world applications. Now, let's talk about the side-side-side, or SSS, criterion for triangle congruence. When we say two triangles are congruent using SSS, it means that all three sides of one triangle are exactly the same length as the three sides of the other triangle. This is a very powerful concept because knowing just the side lengths can tell us that the triangles are essentially identical in shape and size. Another important point is that the second triangle doesn't have to be oriented in the same way as the first. It could be rotated, flipped, or even reflected like a mirror image, and it would still be considered congruent. This highlights that congruence is about the intrinsic properties of the triangles, not how they are positioned or rotated in space. So, in the context of our overall presentation, understanding SSS helps us see how triangles can be compared based solely on their side lengths, which is fundamental in many geometric proofs and constructions. It reminds us that congruence is about equality in shape and size, regardless of orientation. Now, let's look at the right angle, hypotenuse, and one other side, often called RHS. When we have two triangles that are right-angled and they share the same hypotenuse and one other side, those triangles are actually congruent. That means they are exactly the same shape and size. It's interesting to note that the second triangle could be a rotation or a mirror image of the first one, or even both. Despite that, their size and shape will still match perfectly because of this congruence. And because these triangles are congruent, the third side must also be the same in both triangles. We can verify this easily using Pythagoras' theorem, which confirms the length of the hypotenuse based on the other two sides. This concept is important because it helps us identify when triangles are essentially identical, simplifying many problems in geometry. It's a key part of understanding how triangles relate to each other in terms of their sides and angles. Now let's talk about the side-angle side, or SAS, congruence rule. When two triangles have two sides that are the same length and the angle between those sides, the included angle, is also the same, then the triangles are congruent. It's important to remember that the included angle is the one right in between those two sides. Another key point is that the second triangle doesn't have to be an exact copy in the same orientation. It could be a rotation or even a mirror image of the first triangle, and they would still be congruent under SAS. This rule is really useful because it helps us determine when two triangles are identical in shape and size based on just two sides and the included angle. It ties into our overall theme of understanding triangle congruence by focusing on specific parts rather than the entire figure. So let's talk about the angle-side angle, or ASA, criterion for triangle congruence. When two triangles have two angles and the included side, the side in between those two angles, the same, we know that these triangles are congruent. That means they are exactly the same shape and size. An important point here is that the second triangle might be a rotation or a mirror image of the first one, or even both. It doesn't have to be oriented in the same way. The congruence still holds. This idea is closely related to another criterion called angle-angle side, or AAS. If you know two angles in a triangle, you can find the third, because all the interior angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. This helps us establish congruence even when the third angle isn't directly known, as long as the other two angles and the included side match. So, in the bigger picture, ASA and AAS are powerful tools because they let us determine when two triangles are essentially identical, which is fundamental in understanding geometric relationships and proofs.